They don't believe in you. They doubt you. But that's your greatest advantage, because in silence, you're training. In the shadows, you're preparing. This video is a wake-up call for anyone who's ever been underestimated and is ready to shock the world. Welcome to MindCresta, where quiet strength becomes unstoppable power.
What if I told you the only opinion that truly shapes your life is your own? You spend years chasing approval, unaware that the real power lies in breaking free from it. Because once you stop seeking validation, you don't just find confidence, you unlock freedom. Let's begin by remembering a powerful truth. You are the only one who truly knows your worth. Not your boss, not your parents, not your friends, and definitely not strangers online, just you. When that truth settles in, everything starts to shift. The moment you begin to believe in yourself, you'll witness a surprising transformation others will start believing in you too. The world is a mirror. It reflects back exactly what you show it. Walk with confidence, and others will treat you with respect. But doubt yourself, second guess your every move, and people will sense that too. They'll treat you accordingly. Energy is contagious, whether it's self-assurance or insecurity. But don't confuse confidence with perfection. Confidence doesn't mean you'll never fall, never be rejected, or never make a mistake. True confidence is understanding that even if you do, you'll be okay. It's trusting yourself to get back up when life knocks you down. When you believe in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way, fear starts to fade. Worry loses its grip, and suddenly you're no longer controlled by the fear of failure or rejection. The reality is, most people live in quiet desperation for approval. They adjust their appearance, their words, and even their dreams just to be accepted. They live for likes, for compliments, for someone else's nod of approval. But here's the danger when your sense of peace depends on external praise. Your emotions become fragile. A compliment lifts you, a criticism crushes you, and silence, it makes you question everything. Why? Because the moment you rely on others to validate your worth, you hand over the keys to your happiness. You give people power over your emotions, and that's no way to live. Here's the liberating truth: what people think of you isn't a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of them. Their opinions are filtered through their own insecurities, experiences, and biases. One person may see greatness in you, another may see mediocrity. One may admire you, another may resent you. So who's right? Neither. Because opinions are just that, opinions. Not facts. Understanding this changes everything. It helps you stop taking things so personally. From a young age, we're conditioned to chase approval, gold stars, applause, top grades. But if you never grow out of that mindset, you stay stuck in a cycle where your self-worth depends on others' applause. And no matter how hard you try, you'll never please everyone. Even if you're the kindest, most hardworking person in the room, someone will find a reason to criticize you. So why chase validation? Why anchor your confidence to something so unreliable? The truth is, the moment you stop seeking validation, your life begins to shift. You start making choices based on what you genuinely want, not on what will win applause. You stop overanalyzing how you appear. You stop tiptoeing through conversations afraid to offend. And the irony? That's when people respect you the most, when they see you don't need their approval to stand tall. Because confidence doesn't beg for attention, it commands it. And when your self-worth no longer depends on someone else's approval, something remarkable happens. You start to feel truly free. We just talked about how true confidence comes from within, how letting go of others' opinions sets you free. Now let's go deeper into the power you may not realize you already have. The power to control your emotional response. Most people go through life thinking emotions happen to them, that anger, frustration, or sadness are automatic reactions to the world around them. Someone cuts them off in traffic. Rage, a rude comment, hurt. But here's the truth. It's not the event that triggers the emotion, it's the meaning you attach to it. You are not a puppet to circumstance. You are the interpreter of your own reality. Let's say someone criticizes you. Your first impulse might be to feel attacked, to defend yourself, maybe even argue back. But what if you paused for a moment and saw the situation differently? What if, instead of reacting defensively, you viewed that criticism as neutral information? It could be valuable, a piece of feedback that helps you grow. Or it could be meaningless noise, a projection of their own insecurity. Either way, it doesn't need to steal your peace, because once you stop seeing criticism as personal, it loses its sting. The same principle applies to difficult people. We all encounter them negative, rude, or just downright frustrating personalities. But what if you shifted your view? Instead of seeing them as irritants, you saw them as training partners, tools for developing your patience and emotional discipline. With that mindset, their negativity becomes less of an obstacle and more of an opportunity to rise above. Here's something worth reflecting on. How often do we allow tiny, temporary issues to dominate our mood? A single snide remark, a minor inconvenience, a brief awkward moment. We let these fleeting incidents consume our energy, hijack our focus, and ruin entire days. But if it won't matter a year from now or even a week from now, why let it disturb your peace today? This is where perspective becomes your superpower. Zoom out. Take the long view. When you do, most of life's stresses suddenly appear small, even irrelevant. It becomes clear. No one can make you feel anything unless you give them permission. The power to feel angry, hurt, or frustrated is yours, and so is the power not to. Think about it. Have you ever seen two people face the exact same situation, yet respond in completely different ways? One shrugs it off. The other stews in resentment for days. What made the difference? Not the event, but their choice of response. Because every emotional reaction is a choice, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Some might argue, but I can't help it, I explode when someone disrespects me. That's not inability. That's habit, a reflex that's been reinforced over time. And like all habits, it can be rewired. Imagine if you built the habit of pausing just for a few seconds every time someone tried to push. Your buttons, that pause, that breath, that moment of awareness, that's your point of power. It's where you choose. Is this worth my energy most of the time? The answer is a quiet but firm no. Let's simplify it with a metaphor. If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it belong to? It's still theirs. The same goes for negativity. If someone throws insults, anger, or judgment your way, you don't have to take it. Leave it with them. Their energy doesn't have to become your burden. Now, this doesn't mean allowing people to disrespect you. It's not about being passive. It's about protecting your peace. If someone tries to offend you and fails to provoke a reaction, they lose, not you, because their goal was to disrupt your calm, and they failed. Think of the most powerful people you admire. Are they the ones who react to every slight, every insult, every inconvenience? Or are they the ones who remain composed, deliberate, steady and shaken? Real strength isn't loud. It doesn't lash out. It stands firm. It holds its center. It refuses to let the outside world control the inner world. And here's where everything shifts. When you stop letting people provoke you, they lose their hold over you. That co-worker who thrives on triggering others, they'll stop when they see you're not reacting. That critic who feeds on your insecurity, they'll either change their approach or disappear. Because people only have the power you grant them. If you wouldn't take a child's tantrum personally, why let an adult's negativity shake you? What if you treated their anger, judgment, or bitterness as reflections of them, not of you? How much lighter would your life feel? And now, as we step into the next part of this journey, let's explore how mastering this emotional discipline unlocks a deeper level of freedom. The kind that lets you move through life with peace, clarity, and purpose. In the last part, we explored how your emotional state is yours to manage and how taking back control over your reactions makes you unshakable. Now let's take it a step further. True confidence isn't something others can give or take away, it's something you build from within. The moment you understand that you, not your boss, not your family, not strangers online, are the one in charge of your emotions, that's when everything changes. From that point forward, no insult, no judgment, no offhand comment can pierce through your peace. Confidence becomes your armor, your invisible shield. When you wear it, the noise of the world can't cut you. But without it, even the smallest remark can feel like an attack. That's why some people seem constantly offended, perpetually uneasy, always on edge. It's not that the world is out to get them, it's that they haven't yet anchored themselves in self-trust. When you deeply know who you are, when you believe in your own worth, other people's words lose their sting. Now think back to the last time someone's words really got to you. Why did it hurt? Was it because it was true, or because deep down you feared it might be? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Insults only wound when they touch something raw inside us. A lion wouldn't flinch if you called it weak, it knows what it is. It doesn't need your validation. But say the same to someone who hasn't yet embraced their strength, and they'll likely lash out. Not because it's true, but because they haven't fully convinced themselves otherwise. And that's exactly why self-confidence is the antidote. When you believe in your worth, you stop chasing approval. You stop letting other people's opinions define you. You no longer crave to be liked. You no longer beg for recognition. And in doing so, you become untouchable, because the very thing others use to control or hurt you no longer works. The truth is, many people tear others down just to feel bigger. But when you don't react, when you stay rooted in your identity, their attempts to shake you fall flat. Their power evaporates. It's important to distinguish confidence from arrogance. Confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others, it's about realizing you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to argue every point. You don't need to defend every action. When you're truly self-assured, you can let a lot slide, because you're no longer trying to win, you're just being who you are. And that makes life lighter. You stop obsessing over what people think. You stop taking things so personally. You stop turning small remarks into giant issues. But here's what many forget: confidence isn't something you're born with. It's built, step by step, moment by moment. Every time you hold your ground, every time you choose peace over proving yourself, every time you refuse to absorb someone else's negativity, you strengthen it. It's like training a muscle. The more you flex it, the more powerful it becomes. So where do you begin? Start by dropping the need for approval. The instant you realize that external validation isn't necessary, you reclaim your power. If someone criticizes you, let them. If they doubt you, let them. Their view doesn't change your reality. And the irony, the less you care what others think, the more they start respecting you. People can feel when you're grounded, when you're not performing, not seeking praise. It makes them take notice. Now, it won't always be easy to shift your mindset in the heat of the moment, but it's a skill worth developing. The next time something pushes your buttons, take a breath, pause, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? 9 times out of 10, the answer will be no. Train yourself to zoom out, see the bigger picture. With practice, this becomes second nature. You stop getting swept up in petty drama. You stop letting little things dictate your state of mind. You become emotionally untouchable, not because life is easier, but because you've grown stronger. Here's a simple but overlooked truth. If you don't take something seriously, it can hurt you. The things that upset you most are usually the ones you've assigned the most weight to. If someone insults you and you internalize it, it hurts. But if you laugh it off, if you let it slide by, it loses its edge. Humor and detachment are powerful shields. They allow you to stay light, to stay elevated, to remain above the nonsense. People who go through life constantly offended, always agitated, they suffer not because their lives are harder, but because they take everything to heart. They soak in negativity instead of letting it bounce off. And the world will always provide negativity. There will always be critics, cynics, and chaos. The question is, will you absorb it or rise above? When you learn to smile at the things that once made you flinch, you disarm them. When you stop feeding energy into pettiness, it stops affecting you. If someone tries to drag you down, don't fight, don't argue. Just smile and move forward, Doc. This doesn't mean becoming passive or ignoring real problems. It means choosing where to direct your energy. It means protecting your peace like it's sacred because it is dot and now. Let's move forward into the next level of mental strength where you not only remain calm under pressure, but learn to turn adversity into your advantage. We just saw how humor and indifference can act as powerful shields, allowing you to rise above the noise without losing your center. Now, let's go even deeper into this emotional mastery. When someone tries to upset you, it's rarely ever about you. It's about them, their dissatisfaction, their insecurity, their thirst for attention. And when you react, you're giving them exactly what they crave, a response, a sense of control. But when you remain calm, when you hold your ground and refuse to engage, you strip that power away from them. Nothing disarms a provocateur more than realizing they can't get under your skin. If humor is the shield, then indifference is the quiet storm that doesn't make noise. But it changes everything when you reach the point where someone else's negativity doesn't even register, where you feel no urge to defend, explain, or prove a point. That's when you've stepped into real strength. Some might mistake ignoring negativity for weakness, but it's the opposite. It's control, it's awareness, it's knowing that your peace of mind is more valuable than being momentarily right. Not every comment deserves your attention. Not every jab deserves your energy. Sometimes silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. Your energy is precious. Spend it wisely. Pour it into what uplifts you, not into meaningless battles that only drain you. The next time someone tries to provoke you, remember, you don't owe them a reaction. Smile, breathe, walk away. Because the moment you stop letting every small thing get to you is the moment you step into true power. Too many people think strength is about always having the last word, always proving their point, always making sure others know they're right. But real strength is knowing when to walk away. It's choosing peace over pride. It's understanding that not every fire needs your fuel. Trying to convince someone who has already made up their mind is like arguing with a wall, draining, frustrating, and pointless. How many times have you watched people argue endlessly over something trivial, both refusing to back down, and in the end, no one truly wins? Maybe one walks away thinking they won, but at what cost? A bruised ego, a strained relationship, wasted time. That's not victory. That's ego dressed in armor. Letting go of the need to be right doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. It shows you value your inner peace more than a hollow win. It shows you know which conversations lead to growth and which only lead to burnout. Because some people argue for the sake of arguing. Some never intend to listen. Some only speak to provoke. And the best thing you can do is not play their game. When you stop feeding the fire, it dies out. When you refuse to react, negativity loses its grip. People can only pull you into conflict if you allow it. They can only disturb your peace if you open the door. But when you finally choose to protect your energy, when you decide your time, focus, and inner peace are too sacred to waste, everything changes. It takes true maturity to remain silent when your ego wants to fight. It takes wisdom to walk away when your pride urges you to stay. But the reward for that discipline, freedom. The kind of freedom that shields you from chaos, from drama, from the emotional traps that most people walk right into. This isn't about avoiding problems. It's about knowing which ones are worth solving and which ones aren't even yours to carry. So next time someone tries to drag you into an argument, ask yourself, what will I actually gain from this? Will it bring peace? Will it bring growth? Or will it just burn your time and energy for nothing? More often than not, the answer is clear. And when you choose to let it go, when you step away from the chaos instead of getting pulled into it, you gain something far more valuable. Complete control over yourself. And when you have that, nothing and no one can disturb your peace ever again.
If you're grinding in silence, this message is for you. Share it to empower others on the same journey. Subscribe to MindCresta, where we turn solitude into strength and self-belief into an unshakable weapon. Your time is coming, and when it does, the world won't know what hit it. Stay focused, stay fierce. This is just the beginning.